Hello, Mary the Psychic Shaman here, and today I want to do a little, kind of like a little tutorial on how to connect with the land. And this is, much easier if you have the land, but also any land to connect with. It's also a type of protection. So, as some of you might know, you can easily use crystals and even stones, rocks that you get from around, anywhere, from beautiful areas, really from roadsides, parking lots. It doesn't matter. If a stone calls to you, that's just as good as a crystal, if not better. And there are times where it is wonderful to take and connect with that stone. And when you connect with that stone, you can create this line, this energy line between you and the stone. And also, if you like, you can connect with the land that the stone came from. You can also, if you have a crystal, you can program it basically to connect you with a land, even if it didn't come from the land you're wanting to connect with. So I found this stone that I will show you in a little bit on my new property here, which this property is my dream come true. This is something that I have wanted all my life, and I am just blissfully peaceful, and it's wonderful. And, walking around, I found this stone and brought it in. I wasn't sure what I was going to use it for, if anything. And then I had to do, for one of my minister trainings, for animist minister trainings, she was showing us how to do a protection with a stone. And instead, when I went in and I journeyed, I used that stone, which I found here. So I found this stone near this area, which is right by the grandmother oak. Now, this awesome, gnarly tree has been around. She has had lightning strikes. She has persevered through so much trauma and, confrontation, so much and disease and everything. And she's still here, beautifully here. And this is grandmother tree. This is the grandmotherly love. You can feel it emanating from her. And she creates habitat. Look at all the habitat. She's even hollow, in the bottom. She is growing from, what didn't survive. But yet also with her, her not being 100% healthy has caused so much beautiful habitat for other animals, whether they're insects or birds or other animals as well. So she's just wonderful. So this stone was found by her. Now, the other, Albert, I call him, grandfather tree, he is in the woods and trails. He's quite a ways away. He is wonderful. He is my oak tree. He is, if you've seen any of my videos, especially early ones where I talk about how I started journeying, this is an oak tree that is in my mind. But it's not just in my mind, it's here on this land. So that's like grandfather oak, and his name's Albert, and he also has a baby maple growing out of him, which is quite weird. And then we've got the grandmother oak here. So I go to do this journey with this animist minister training, and instead of doing as she was saying, I just of course let everything go with what my intuition is telling me to do, and I created like a Seiki line, this energy line, this triangle basically, between me, grandmother tree, and grandfather tree Albert. And with this stone was able to hold that energy, to connect. I felt the line. I felt, I was holding the stone in my hand, and I felt how it connected the line. The first and very strong, comforting love is from grandmother tree. And then I felt that energy line, go all the way to Albert. And that is a big connection with the land. It's one of the many ways that you can connect with land. And the cool thing is, which I'm so excited to figure out, is I also had this vision of doing this triangle between, and I've got to get like GIS or something, or just even, I suppose, a regular map, but GIS would be so much easier to actually draw a triangle. And the triangle, I think, is going to end up in that field over there. And I want to put a fire pit, a ceremony fire pit there. And it's just a place that the land can support you, where you can throw all your fire too, you know, throw it in the fire, get rid of it. Fire ceremonies are beautiful and amazing. And I am going to figure that out, because that's amazing. One of the journeys, one of the messages from Spirit. So other ways that you can connect with land. Now, when we first moved here, I simply walked. I walked the property and I talked to the property. And that, here, I'm going to just walk and show you. You know, I just walked and I talked. I talked to the spirits of the land. There are plenty of spirits who roam these lands. One is the previous owner's father who passed. Very lovely man who put his heart and soul, as did his daughter, into this property. And I introduced myself, and I let the land, the spirit of the land, and the other spirits who are roaming here, I let them know that I am here to witness the beauty and to help protect and keep everything, oh, there's Izzy, to keep everything as natural and beautiful as we can. You know, so that we can provide a beautiful habitat for all, for whether those are people, whether it's animals that need it. It's just what we're offering and what we are going to do for this land. And I'm hoping to open up to have people here who need healing, to need to remember who they are, because that is main, that is key with any of this, is remembering who you are. You know, it is amazing, the transformation that's happened with my family. Even we've only been here for 2 weeks, and the transformation of everyone being able to look at different perspectives, looking at different sides, is just beautiful. We had, my husband and I built drawers years ago. We used them for storage. We decided to do deer feeders with them, and also squirrels love them. My husband is making our screen porch right now because the mosquitoes are horrible, but our bedroom is right there. And when we look in the morning, we brought the fire pit from, I've done plenty of, well, not plenty, it was a fairly new one, but some ceremonies in that fire pit we kept. But there's a feeder down here. And this feeder, we saw one morning, an awesome deer, funny deer, that's been around so much and is not that afraid of us at all, was feeding from that feeder. I actually have a picture on Facebook, I think in the Facebook group. And this river, the Pensacola River, is absolutely beautiful. It is crystal clear. You can see it all the way to the bottom. There must be high iron content in the soil, which causes it to look copper. Very, very sandy soil here. There's beautiful, majestic cedars and trees over there. This land is so amazing with cedars, and see, you can see the rocks in there, and oak trees. Oh my gosh, it is just so beautiful. When a year ago, my husband and I went for our anniversary and drove to Northern California, to the redwoods, and I was just in love. And there was a part in California when we were driving back that was right before you get out of California, and I said, this is it, this is my place. And what it was the big ass for Wisconsin cedar trees, you know, some of the Sitka spruces, but it still had the deciduous, maples and oaks and all that as well. And the interesting thing is, it was actually my stepfather who pointed out to my husband that this is my dream. This is it. This is what I wanted from the time, well, forever, but how he saw it after our trip. And this is another way. Just the connection. All you have to do is connect. I'm getting lost. And here is another big fire pit that was left here that we get to burn, but that's more for stuff from our construction business. We used to burn some of the wood and cardboard. But this place is beautiful in how you connect. Albert grandfather tree is down this path, this trail. There's about 3 miles worth of trails going through the woods here. And he is right at the beginning of the Cedar Grove. And the Cedar Grove is just so hauntingly beautiful because it's dark and it's so still and quiet. It's really beautiful and amazing. And right now, at this time, if you try going in there, I will get attacked like crazy. And I don't have any bug spray on, so I'm not going to go in there now. But I did find a natural spray that actually works pretty darn good. But this, we are going to do a big garden next year when we're fully moved in. Oh, that tree, if you've seen other videos from our old place, see how the horns are there? That, when we first came to look at this property, I saw that and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's my little tree goblin, but big, 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 huge. So there's so much about this land. So connecting with land, you use your intuition. I mean, you can go and sit with your back against a tree and just talk. You know, that helps. Offerings, you can do dispachos. Despacho you can bury. Obviously make sure that nothing is going to be toxic. Grains and sugars. You can leave offerings, tobacco, chocolates. Just know that, obviously the wildlife will eat what you put out, so be careful there. We'll see how far we can get in here, but this is just amazing. It is deer fly season right now too, so that's not any fun. Hence why I have this hat on all the time. But these trails are hauntingly beautiful. Some areas are it's the Cedar Groves. You go in, see, deer flies. You go in and some areas are just so beautiful and bright and cheery, and then all of a sudden you get into the different areas. It's like you're driving through different places because there's so many different groves. There's the Cedar Groves. There's more temperate forest type. It goes all over. Oh, let me flip it. I'm going to show you another beauty. Look at this guy. See, this doesn't do it justice. He is amazing and beautiful and right over the river. And I am being chased by these lovely deer fly. So, a way to connect with land. There are so many ways, so many beautiful ways to do so. It's what calls to you. Go in your land. Is there a certain tree that calls to you? Open your mind up. Just completely open up and feel. I'll walk by sometimes and I'll just put my hand on a tree and, you can get messages to come through. Talk to the tree. Is it a grandfather tree? Is it a steward of the land? Does the tree have a quirky personality? The more you connect with nature and land, the land, any land, doesn't have to be your land, just land, you will get to know how different the spirits are. Just like people. Nature spirits are different. Land spirits are different. Trees are different. That was interesting. I wonder what that was. So it's really just beautiful. And if you have any ideas, feel free to comment. This is just a little quick video that I wanted to do to share with one of the many rituals that I did that was beautiful. I did take that stone. Maybe we can walk back there. I took that stone, and when I was done, and I placed it in the pond, and then I put it in the hollow part of the grandmother tree, which is quite a ways away, so maybe we'll just let that go. Video's already getting long. So that is all, guys. I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful summer. July 4th today. Don't know when I'll upload this, but I hope you had a good one, and we will see you later. See ya.